Is guitar YouTube dying, and are some guitar YouTubers simply making it worse day by day?
Well, that's it. I guess I'm done here. Maybe I'll take up skiing or something. Well, hey guys, thanks for joining me for another episode. So this is going to be something a little different that I do on the channel. It's not something that I do a lot. I don't get into drama, but and this is not a drama video. I'm just going to shoot from the hip and just say some stuff. I'm going to respond to this guy's comments from his video. Now, full disclosure, I don't know this guy on Slightly Technical, and I don't have anything against him at all, and I don't want anybody saying anything to him or going to his channel and saying anything, because honestly, there's a part of me that's actually glad he made this video. Now, the reason why is because it gives me and other YouTubers a chance to kind of explain things to people who are thinking these things. So I'm glad he brought it up. I don't have a problem with it at all. Now, I've ran a pressure washing business for 25 years now, and I love it when people challenge me. I love it when people have challenging questions for me, because I know I have the answers and I know I can do what it is that they're asking me to do in the way that it needs to be done, because I'm a professional. So it's the same thing with YouTube. I don't mind when people challenge me. As long as they do it in good faith and there's a respectful manner about it, I don't mind it at all, because I have nothing to hide here. And I think I speak for a lot of us YouTubers when I say that. We have nothing to hide. We just started channels and we started doing fun stuff on our channels. And as our channels grew, some companies thought, hey, you know what? Maybe this guy would like our product or whatever, and we can reach out to them and see if they would mind demoing it for us. And that's as innocent as it gets. It's literally how it goes on YouTube. If your channel grows big enough, the waves and the ripples in the pond that you're making wherever you're at kind of go out, and they reach other places, and they reach other gear manufacturers and people like you. And when that happens, they pay attention to you and go, you know what, this might be a good opportunity for us. Because, you know, I've said this before on the channel, there was a day when it was just magazines, and you just had a little, if you're lucky, a color picture of something with a little blurb underneath it, and that's all you got to tell you about that product. You couldn't really see it in a 3D way. You couldn't see somebody showing all the features. And you definitely couldn't hear it, and you for sure didn't get anyone's opinions about it. It was just an ad, you know? So nowadays you have YouTube where you can see it, you can hear it, you get opinions, you get other people's opinions in the comment section, and you get to hear it in a mix, outside of a mix, riffs, different genres of music, different types of players, different opinions. I mean, there's so many good things about it, and I don't see anything wrong with it at all. So that's just my little intro here. So let's listen to a couple of sections of his video. And I left the sections a little longer so that I could keep all the context in there. So let's just listen to each section. I'll comment on that, and I'll wrap up with some other points as well. And if you stay tuned to the end of the video, the reason why I have my guitar here is I'm going to play through the two pieces of gear that I got this year that I found very impressive, and I'm so glad that I have. So stick around for that as well. So let's hear one of the excerpts from his video now.
People have had enough of channels telling them the exact same thing, recycling the exact same topic, and just saying nice things about every piece of gear. Oh, we've got another overdrive pedal, and now this one is the one that creates these amazing tones and whatever. Like, nobody's really criticizing equipment. I mean, it's not like nobody, but rarely any channel is doing like a real criticism of equipment.
Now, there's always going to be people who say that. There's always going to be people that say, oh, these guys all say nice things about gear, and they all say the same thing, and blah, blah, blah. You know, I mean, there's always that crowd that says that crap. And I see it on Facebook, and I see it in other groups as well. And you know what? If they want to think that, then fine. Let them think it. I don't really give a shit. You know, all I can tell you is we don't all just say positive things about gear. If you watch my channel, you watch Henning's channel, you watch Fricker's channel, you watch other people's channels, you will see that they do criticize things. Now, just because we do it in a way that's professional, we're not just saying, oh, this thing's a piece of crap and you shouldn't buy it and it's garbage, doesn't mean we're not being critical. We're just doing it in a mature, more professional manner. I've done that on my channel. I've actually had pieces of gear on my channel that I like, but there's things that I'm like, oh, I wish they would have done this different. But then again, that's just me. Maybe you don't think so. Maybe the stuff that doesn't work for me on this product is actually a benefit to you. Maybe you think I'm nuts. I mean, I've said that many times as well. Now, the other thing I want to say regarding people accusing us of just saying positive things about gear and just shilling for it and being just positive all the time is this. When companies come out with a piece of gear and they want us to review it, no one has ever told any of us, to my knowledge, especially me and the people I'm friends with and I know really well, because we talk, you know, no one's ever said you can only say positive things about this stuff. Not one person has said that to me. Trust me, if they did, I would freaking put them on blast big time, because why not? I'd get it if you're thinking I'm just doing this for views. I mean, that would get me a ton of views. So anybody that wants to do that, I mean, go ahead. You know, seal your fate that way. But think about this for a second. There's a lot of positivity about the gear because there's a lot of great gear out there these days. I mean, why do you think everybody says this is the golden age of gear for guitar players? Because it really is. There is really a lot of great stuff out there for us now, and it's amazing. So why would we just bash on stuff just to make you guys think that we're being honest? I mean, it's just stupid. So we're just saying nice things because they're actually true. Now, here's the other angle on that as well. I mean, these companies know that there's YouTubers like us out here now, you know, doing all these demos for gear. So why would they release crap? Because they know it's going to get called out by us. They know it will. I mean, we're not just going to let that shit slide. So in a way, I honestly think that the YouTube community of gear reviewers are keeping a lot of these companies in check by giving reviews of stuff. They know they're not going to release something that sucks and we're just going to let that slide. So I honestly think that these people know that this is going to be inspected by these guys. It's going to be reviewed by these guys, so we better make it right. And I honestly think that that has a lot to do with it. Now, I'm not saying these companies don't have any integrity, and if it wasn't for us, you know, policing all their stuff, that none of this would happen. I'm just saying that it's nice to have a checks and balance system out there, and I really think that we are part of that system, and I think people should appreciate that.
You know what also happened? Basically, the big boys have taken over. Now, big companies such as Sweetwater, Thomann, obviously Andertons, they've got great YouTube channels. They invested a lot of money in their YouTube channels, and it's absolutely the absolute right way how to run a business if you are running like a music shop. But basically, they killed a lot of these smaller YouTubers where there was a business around like gear demos.
Now, yeah, I agree. There's a lot of stores that are doing their own YouTube content now, and that's a good thing. I like that. You know, they got really good production value, and it's very professionally done. But I don't think they're killing the independent YouTubers, because the thing is there's still a need for independent YouTubers, because if all we have are stores making content, I mean, you want to talk about people that are fully invested in selling something to you. I mean, nobody's more invested in selling something to you than a store who bought a bunch of these things, and now they got to move them so that they can not take a loss on them and make a profit on them. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because stores have every right to do demos on their channels and sell stuff. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But these same people who complain that, oh, YouTubers are, you know, just a bunch of shills and blah, 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 I mean, like I said, nobody's more invested in selling something than a store. So because of that, it's good to have us independent YouTubers out there as well, who can just kind of keep things balanced out a little bit, because we're going to give more of our opinions on the gear rather than just doing the demonstration and letting you buy it and figure it out for yourself. So having independent YouTubers out there is actually a good thing, and I think it needs to stay. Once again, I have nothing against stores doing this. I would do it too if I was a store, and I don't think they're doing anything wrong. But again, I think it's really good to have us out here because we're going to give more opinions about it rather than just demos, if that makes sense.
A lot of the big channels are really guilty of this. If they have like a high production level, they can make anything sound good. And we came to the point when it's like, I have no idea what sounds good and what doesn't, and I don't trust anybody, and I feel like everybody's full of shit. And it certainly looks that way. And I would say that that is a huge contributor to the fall of the number of views. And I also have to say that I think that not all channels are guilty of this, but they are like collateral damage.
Okay, so I left the full statement in there. So he did say not all of the channels are doing it. So that's a good thing, you know, that he said that. But let me just tell you this. I'll speak for myself. I don't do that. I have literally picked up gear from places to demo and brought it right back and said, I'm not demoing this because it just sounds like crap. And I don't like it, and I don't have anything good to say about it at all. So I'm just not going to demo it. I could have fixed the audio, but I don't do that here. Because here's the thing. I'm one of those guys who thinks down the road. And I think I speak for about 99% of us YouTubers when I say this. The last thing we want to do is put something on our channel and fix it so that it sounds good, whether it's an audio production or whatever, and then release that and then have a bunch of people buy it and then completely come back and just ratio us on how horrible it sounds and how we lied to them and this and that. I mean, there's an old scripture that says, be sure your sin will find you out. And trust me, if you do stuff like that, your sin will definitely find you out. There's another saying that says, a lie will make it halfway around the world while truth is still tying its shoes. So the last thing I want to do is lie to my subscribers or anyone who watches my videos by making something sound good even though it doesn't sound good. And after I release that video, I know that truth is lacing up those shoes and getting ready to freaking catch up to me and burn my ass. So I don't want to do that because once that happens, your channel's done. I mean, you're literally done. That's career suicide. And I don't think anybody's interested in that on YouTube. Now, are there channels out there that are fixing their audio and maybe pulling some shady stuff? Probably. I don't know of any. You know, I can't name any. But are there bad doctors? Are there bad lawyers? Are there bad priests and pastors and policemen and firemen and teachers and principals? Yeah, there are bad people in every single type of industry, you know, but it doesn't mean that everyone is bad. It just means there's always a couple bad apples in every single industry that's out there. You name it, there's bad people in it, but it doesn't mean that the whole industry sucks, and it doesn't mean that every single person in that industry is bad. It just means there's just a few of them. Ignore those few and pay attention to the ones that you trust. All right, so one more thing I want to cover in this video is the whole gear release day videos. Some people get really upset because there's like maybe 10, maybe 15 videos that are released about a new piece of gear on release day. Well, let me explain all of that stuff to you. So basically what happens is a company knows that they're going to release something on a certain day, and then they will send it to a bunch of YouTubers to get their thoughts on it. And maybe some of it's still in beta testing and they want to make some fine little tweaks on it before they release it. So we're all part of that as well. Okay, but we got to keep it all secret. We can't talk about it because there's an NDA and there's also an embargo on when you can release pictures or videos or anything about the product. So because of that embargo, we can't say anything or show anything about it. But once the embargo is lifted, in other words, like let's say it's May 27th, you know, at 9 o'clock a.m. Well, of course, all the YouTubers are going to release their videos on that day because why wouldn't you, right? I mean, why would you wait a week or two when everyone's already seen everyone else's videos on it, and now you're the guy that's like, oh, check this out, and everyone's like, we already checked it out. So now you don't get the views, okay? Oh, and no one sees all the hard work that you put into the product, and on top of that, you look bad to the company because the company's looking at you like, well, you didn't hardly get any views on this, so maybe we shouldn't work with you in the future because we're paying you to do this and we're sending this to you as at an expense to us, and then we're not really getting what we're paying for regarding you know, any kind of exposure with this product. You know, I mean, everyone else got 10,000 views, you got 2,000. So you have to look at it that way too. The last thing I want to do is have the least amount of views on a product, and then next time I want to work with this company, they're going to think twice about that, because this is a business. I'm doing this for a living here, and I have to, you know, do things in a way where I keep my channel up to par with views and stuff like that, and I'm being compared to all of the other guys on YouTube. Now, I don't look at them as competition. You know, I mean, I basically look at them as colleagues and friends. So we're not really in competition with each other, but kind of we are, because we are being compared. But I'm in a chat group with a lot of these guys, and we all help each other. So I don't consider them competition at all. So, but anyways, that's the whole deal about the release day views. I mean, yeah, you get carpet bombed a little bit, but you know what? Here's the nice thing about it. If you don't want to watch the videos, then just don't watch them. There's plenty of other stuff to watch on YouTube, and there's plenty of other guys that didn't get the gear that are doing other videos, and just watch those then, or watch one or two or whatever, you know. Or if you want us to wait a week before we release them and kind of space them out, well, why don't you do that? Why don't you wait a week before you watch this guy's video or that guy's video? Watch one today, one tomorrow, one next week, one next month. Why don't you make those choices for yourself? You do have the freedom to do that, so why don't you take it upon yourself to wait a week or whatever, and space all of this stuff out so that you could watch it at your own comfort level. No one's ever mentioned that. Well, I just did, so there you go. And here's another thing I want to address. Some people are bitching about, you know, the whole release day, like, oh, these guys are saying the same thing, it's the same piece of gear and blah, blah, blah. Well, it might be the same piece of gear, but I could tell you this, when the FORTIN Killer Cali came out, we were sharing our videos with each other in the private group and just kind of watching each other's videos before release day. And what I can tell you is that everybody had a different take on it. Everybody was doing completely different things. I remember one guy was doing some bluesy stuff, and he did some metal stuff and some rock stuff, and had it dialed in for all those types of genres, and it was very fitting for those genres, and he did a great job on the video, a really good job. It was amazing. And you know, somebody else had something where they did a full mix, and then they dialed it in differently. They used different speakers, different cabs, different mics, different guitars. And of course, I just do what I do. I'm mostly a metal guy, so I concentrate on that. But we all have different takes. We all have different speaker cabinets, IRs, microphones, guitars, styles of playing, 7-string, 6-string, 8-string guitars. I mean, there's all these variables, so you do get a vast variety of different ways of having the product utilized in all of our videos. And on top of that, we all have different opinions and different takes and different ways of presenting it to you. And some of us don't cover every single little teeny feature on it. And it's nice to see a bunch of videos where after you watch like several videos of it, all those features are covered, or maybe they're covered in the way that suits you. So, I mean, there's just so many different ways that these things can be demoed, and that's why these companies do this. Now, there is talk about the companies kind of spacing it out, kind of like the Netflix thing. I mean, remember how they would release the whole season, and then after a week, the hype died, and then it was on to the next thing? I totally get why, you know, shows like Reacher now, they'll release like 2 or 3 episodes, and then you got to wait a week for the next one, and the next one, and the next one. It keeps people talking about it. It keeps people in a place where they're looking forward to the next thing. And I think that's great for gear as well. So what I want to do is do the release day, but I'll do a revisit here and there. And if you guys watch my channel enough, you know that I do that. I'll play it in a live stream and do a Q&A with it. I'll use it for comparisons down the road. I'll revisit it. Do I still like it? Keep it or sell it? Those kinds of things I do in my channel all the time. So I'm still going to give you more content down the road with the product, you know, after 30 days, do I still like it? Or, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So I like to keep things around for that as well. But I sure as hell am not going to miss out on release day because of the reasons that I said earlier. You know, the embargo's over. Everyone's excited about it. And here's the thing too. 99% of the people are actually excited about it. They're like, oh, this is great. Just like, I remember when Top Gun Maverick, the preview for that came out. Man, it got millions of views in a day because everyone was excited about it. And then there was all these other channels that actually did videos where they reacted to it and talked about it. And it was really cool. And it gave you this feeling of excitement about it. And it's the same thing with this. Why get so negative about it when we could just be positive about it and enjoy the videos? Because again, you might watch one guy's channel and maybe he's not your style of playing or whatever, but you'll still learn something from him. You still get to hear it and see it and get his opinions on it. But then you watch another channel and you're like, oh my God, this guy's right up my alley, or this girl's right up my alley. I can totally see how they're doing the content, and that really makes sense for me. So I'm going to go ahead and consider getting this or whatever. So just get excited about it. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. And again, if you don't like release day and you want to kind of hide in a bunker because you don't want to get carpet bombed with all the freaking videos, well then do that, you know. But let's not bitch about stuff like that, because let me just tell you something right now. Anyone bitching about it, whether they're a YouTuber or they're just somebody that's watching, I guarantee you this. If you had the opportunity to do a video like this, especially if you're a YouTuber, and a company reached out to you and said, hey, we're going to send you this, and what's your fee? We'll take care of that because your time is worth something, and so is your audience that you've spent all this time cultivating and building, and so is your studio. Thought I'd throw all that in there for everyone who thinks we're shills because we're getting paid, because we deserve to get paid. Thank you very much. Anyways, we're going to, release this on this day. Would you like to have a video ready for that? And send us any of your opinions about it as well while you're checking it out. I guarantee you, you would not say no to that. You would take the opportunity and say, hell yes, you know? So I think some of the complaining from other YouTubers that are talking about this sort of thing, maybe they're a little butthurt because they're not part of that situation. And maybe they're just poo-pooing it because they're not involved in it. But I guarantee you if they were, they'd have a completely different take on it. And it's really sad that some people have to take an opportunity to, say something negative about a situation that they weren't part of, when they probably should have spent their energy trying to be part of that situation or take advantage of an opportunity that they missed out on, and maybe work harder next time to have those opportunities, you know? So I'm not saying this guy's doing that. I'm just saying that there are YouTubers and people out there who are doing that, and it kind of makes me sick, you know? But anyways, that's kind of my take on this whole thing. And as far as like me pandering and saying, oh, what do you guys want me to do better on my channel, and views are down, blah, blah, blah. Look, I know views go up and down. It's a roller coaster. It's cyclical. It could be the fact that the weather's changed, people have things going on in their life personally or business-wise, people are traveling, it could be economy, it could be all kinds of things. And I'm just here for the ride, man. I mean, I'm just going to hang on, the dips, the twists, the turns, the ups and downs, everything. I'm here for it. I've been in business a long time, and I know that that's just a cyclical thing. There's nothing you can do about it. And it's the people who hang on and are in for the long run or long haul, they're the ones that are successful. So I'm just here, and as far as what can I do better, what can I do differently, honestly, and I don't mean to sound like an arrogant jerk, because this comes from a place of humility, but it also comes from a place of confidence in me being comfortable in my own skin. I'm happy with what I'm doing on this channel. Now, if you guys want to see more of something and stuff like that, I'm happy to deliver that to you, because you're my subscribers. I love you guys, and I wouldn't be here without you. and I appreciate your support very much. You know, so feel free to leave those comments below on what you'd like to see more of. I'm happy to do it. But all that said, I'm not going to change who I am so I can get more views or anything like that. I am who I am, and I do things the way I do them, and I'm here at this level of wherever I'm at because of that. And I'll own it, and I'm okay with that. And I don't want to become something I'm not just so I can get more views or more success or more subscribers or whatever, because I think people like genuine people. People want genuine content from genuine people. And I'm being as genuine as I can on this channel. You don't want me to be disingenuous, do you? So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. But like I said, if you want to see more of a certain type of content on this channel, then I'm happy to do that for you guys, because again, I'm here for you as well. But I'm also here for me, and I need to come down here and enjoy what I'm doing. Otherwise, I'm a pretty transparent guy. You'll know I'm not having a good time. And I don't want that to come across, because now no one's having a good time, because you can see it. You know, when you watch the video, you're like, man, this guy's not having a good time watching this. And it's kind of, now I have second hand, and I'm not having a good time as well. So I don't want to do that. So it has to be fun for me, and it has to be interesting for me. I've had plenty of people say, why don't you play some jazz or blues or something? I'm not a jazz player. I'm not a blues player. I do hit jazz notes from time to time when I'm playing my solos. Some people call them mistakes. I call them jazz notes. But that's as far as I'm going to dabble with jazz. But I just don't do that. You know, I do what I do, and if you like it, I'm so glad that you do. If it doesn't work for you, find a channel that does work for you. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a free space. You do whatever you want with it. Anyways, well, that's kind of my rant on this whole situation. I hope that it made sense. And again, I'm really glad this guy made this video, because it gave us all a chance to discuss this stuff. I know Kyle Bull's done some videos on it, and we've talked about it in our community as well. And I wanted to do this video a week ago, but I've been busy. So I've actually got to get to work here. But I just wanted to do this really quick this morning. So now that I've done that, let's end on something positive, even though I don't think this whole thing's been negative. Let's go ahead and find my guitar pick. Where's my freaking guitar pick? Let's play two of my pieces of gear that I've acquired recently that I absolutely love very much. And that is the Crab amp, which I think is amazing, and the Red 7 Amp Central Evo. I'm going to play through one of their stock presets and just play some riffs and maybe do a mix for you guys. Those are two amazing pieces of gear. They really are. And, you know, on that note too, like I've had a lot of people thank me for doing the videos that I do because I've saved them money or I've steered them into gear that is absolutely awesome and it works for them. So there's that too, you know, let's just concentrate on the positives here. I mean, for every negative comment that us YouTubers get, for every person who doesn't like what we do or hates us or, you know, just says dumb shit about our channels, and most of them are wrong, by the way, but for every one of those, there's probably 50 or 60 people who are grateful for what we do. So I'm just going to concentrate on that kind of stuff and ignore all the naysayers and the people who have their conspiracy theories and all this kind of stuff. Again, we're not all perfect, but I would say that most of us are doing the best job that we can, and there is a lot of integrity in the community. I can tell you that just from talking to these people behind the scenes. You know, I really can. But yeah, the Amp Central is absolutely amazing. It really is a great piece of gear. I do highly recommend that. And I'm going to do some more videos on that, maybe a riffs and responses, because there was a lot of comments on that video, people saying some things that I want to address in my next video. So I'll be doing that soon. And of course, the Crab is an amazing amp. What a great value for the money, and it sounds awesome. So I'm sure everyone will agree with me on that who's bought amps from him. And I do have the Dragon coming sometime in the near future. I'll be doing a video on that. So, well, anyways, thanks for watching, and I really appreciate all the support that I get on the channel. I can't thank you guys enough. Everyone who's purchasing all my preset and profile packs from my website, also link below. I really appreciate you guys. It does help me keep things going here. You know, so I can't thank you guys enough, and I can't thank you guys enough who are positive and come here and give me constructive criticism and support. I really appreciate that, because I actually look at constructive criticism as support as well, because you cared enough to say, hey, you might want to fix this, or I got a nice suggestion for you to kind of upgrade some things for you or whatever. I like that stuff. It doesn't bother me. So again, if there's anything you guys want to see me do more of on the channel, I'll be happy to accommodate you if I can. And I really appreciate you guys very much. But let me know what you think in general of YouTubers. Like, are you still enjoying the content? Do you think the YouTube gear channels are dying? I don't agree with that sentiment at all, but you're welcome to disagree with me, and as long as you can explain yourself, I'm okay with that. I think YouTube gear channels are doing just fine. I think there's ebbs and flows, ups and downs with all of this stuff. It's not a big deal. And like I said, there's a billion reasons why things go up and down, and I'm not worried about it at all. And I'm perfectly happy with doing what I'm doing, and I'm perfectly happy with doing it the way that I'm doing it. Anyways, to all my Patreon supporters and subscribers, thank you guys so much. And if you're new to the channel and you like what I do here, please subscribe and click the bell so that you don't miss upcoming episodes or live streams. I got a lot more stuff coming up for you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.